From Lalate headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons Lalate.
Thursday, March 4th, 2021. It's the final hour of Afternoons Lalate on this channel. The president could sign into law your $1,400 third stimulus check bill by the end of this weekend. But meantime, Senator Elizabeth Warren surprised everyone on Monday with the bill that could set up a path to get funding for $200 a month for SSI and SSDI. How will it work? Meantime, big push is underway to get $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness and multiple, yes, reoccurring stimulus checks under a fourth stimulus package. We have all the big, great news from across the land as America waits your third stimulus check. The excitement unfolds starting right now in the final hour of Afternoons Lalate. Across this country, full vaccination could be achieved by May. But by the end of this weekend, a $1,400 third stimulus check could be approved and into law and signed. And shortly thereafter, we would get to a fourth stimulus package. And that fourth stimulus package could have multiple stimulus checks. We would also have a standalone bill in the Senate that does student loan debt forgiveness and another one that funds SSI and SSDI. There's a lot of breaking news, and I'm going to all break it down for you as Wall Street deals with an implosion as Treasury yields surge through the roof. This is Afternoons LA. How are ya? Well, are ya? We made it to the final hour. If you've not hit that subscribe button, now is the time. Hit that subscribe button. This channel's on fire. Growing faster than it's ever grown before in the last 3 days. Subscriber counts up, the viewership accounts up. This is a great family with so much information, 6 hours of live shows a day. Starts at mornings, then noon, then afternoon. This is the final hour. Right after this is 30-minute show on Purple. Money right now, not 5 days from now. $5, $10, $15,000. In the Senate right now, on the Senate floor, is a vote for your $1,400 third stimulus check bill. The vote will continue possibly into tomorrow. It was delayed for a few hours this morning as Ron Johnson asked for the reading of the entire bill into the record, just to be a little bit of a, yeah, that. But it just delays us for a few hours. Who cares? We just, put our feet up while you read the bill. And we're getting the vote done later today, and then could be going in tomorrow, and then back to the House. Could be done by the end of tomorrow, and then on the president's table as early as tomorrow. And this is the visual. Where's that visual? Somewhere's the visual. There is the visual. As early as tomorrow, signing your $1,400 third stimulus check into law. Hey, Charles, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. How are you? Everyone welcome Charles to the family. There's Lynn and there's Alicia. And there is Danielle and Elena and Sally and Carmen. If it became law this weekend, the third $1,400 stimulus check, third stimulus check, would go out within about 3 days. Finally, you would get the $1,400 stimulus check. $1,400 if you're an individual, $1,400 if you're an adult, $1,400 if you're a child. Not taken out for debt collection, not taken out for back taxes. If you're on SSI and SSDI, you would get the $1,400 stimulus check. If you got the first one, you got the second one, you get the third one. Very simple. Then if you have a child, 5 to newborn, you're going to get $5,000. $3,600, pay $300 a month starting the month of July for 1 year, plus a $1,400 stimulus check. Automatic. And then if you have a child 17 to 6, $3,000 plus $1,400. $1,400 stimulus check comes with yours, and then $250 a month starting the month of July. Wow, great news. This is becoming law this weekend, presumably as early as tomorrow. All indications now say. That's the first big news. Third stimulus. More about the items that are in the third stimulus package. You want to be ahead of the stimulus stampede. You want to get the money of the other items before anyone else because the other ones are application based. More about those items in a few seconds. But first, fourth stimulus. It's not so far as you think in the horizon. The president had thought that widespread vaccination in this country would be July. That's not the case anymore. It's now May. It's 2 months earlier. Why? Because of a deal the president brokered earlier this week that would provide for Merck to manufacture Johnson & Johnson's vaccine single doses technology that would deliver doses across the country and more millions of Americans would be vaccinated without that 2-dose waiting time, which is 28 days. So in essence, we cut the time in half. And that means that we could have widespread vaccination in May, which is 60 days away. So that means your fourth stimulus check is just around the corner. Correct? Not correct, says 11 senators. They say your reoccurring multiple stimulus checks are just around the corner. Huge, great news. How'd they do this? They did it the dirty way. They said, we'll give you the vote for this week's bill. But guess what? When you do the next one, which you have to do, which you know you're doing, you promise you're doing, you have to do it, sort of, because got to have money in this economy, you're going to have to use reconciliation process again. Yeah. So you need every single Democratic senator in the Senate to vote yes. You need all 50. Lisa Murkowski as the Republican is a pickup. You don't always know if you got that pickup, but you still need all 50. 11 wrote and said, we'll give you the vote this week, but on the next bill, I'll make you a deal you can't refuse. The deal is reoccurring stimulus checks. And why? It's very straightforward. It's very straightforward because as Jerome Powell has said, as Janet Yellen has said, as I have said, you could look at Wall Street and say, oh, you know, growth is good, and this is good, and that's good. But the numbers are not good for labor. We started the day with the unemployment numbers. They're about the same. Okay, we improved 100,000, we improved 50,000, we added 40,000. It's generally the same number. Let's just talk it simple. It's 750-ish. I've never had a recording on this channel where it's 600. I've had recordings of this channel since April 25th where it's either 700 or 1.2. It's somewhere in the range. Either number is bad. That's new unemployment claims per week. The long-term unemployment number is 4.4. The reoccurring claims, 18 million. You need more stimulus. You need more stimulus. And you need to keep on doing it until people are employed. Now, that's for stimulus. That's the big news. That the 11 senators, including Bernie Sanders, says we need, as I almost knocked down the set, we need multiple stimulus checks. And then out of nowhere came our next push. If you're not noticing, that's hashtag number 1, hashtag MSC. This channel just went live with this new format at the end of last week. This week is our first full week of the format. And just since we've gone live, MSC is now mainstream with Bernie Sanders and 11 Democratic senators. Ironic? Before you answer that question, whether it's ironic or not, let me tell you this one. Actually, let me go out of order. One of our viewers, Danielle, reached out to Ron Wyden. Asked him about our other hashtag campaign, FPUC Retro. He's a Democrat. He's in the Senate. Said, would you support FPUC Retro? Sure. I just need to get more Democrats behind me. I just don't have it. Wow. This is hashtag number 2, FPUC Retro. First we have MSC getting some heat, getting some dancing parish moves. Then we have FPUC Retro getting some lovin' from Ron Wyden. I almost go out of frame. I did go out of frame. I confused the camera there. Sorry, Mr. Camera. Too much dancing on the set. And then, there I am. I fixed it. And then came this. Elizabeth Warren. My goodness. Elizabeth Warren. Hey, John Bernardi, how are you? There's Tina, there's Tom, and there's Black Jelly. Elizabeth Warren. On Monday, she shocked everyone who's not a follower of her, but didn't shock anyone else. Why? During the campaign trail, Elizabeth Warren said that she wanted to provide SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits $200 a month on top of their existing benefits. It came from her. It didn't come from the president. It was her idea. She said it first. She then made it a bill. She introduced it to the Senate. In March of last year, Louis Jackman, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. Everyone welcome Louis to the family. She introduces a bill to the Senate. Include those other two provisions. You know which ones they are. The increase in your benefits up to 20% lifetime, and then the new benchmark, not cola, not diet cola, but CPIE. Yeah, that was all her. They asked her, how are you going to do this, Senator Warren? Give me a second, I'll tell you how. So then she talked about some other plans during her run for candidacy for the President of the United States. She went across the country. They said, how are you going to do the other things, Senator Warren? Give me a second, okay? I'll tell you. And then she said it. She said, I got a plan. It's called the wealth tax. It's called the wealth tax. I'm going to tax the richest people in the country to pay for these programs. And she detailed how she's going to do it. And on Monday, she introduced the bill. Wow. The bill provides $2.75 trillion of revenue to the federal government over 10 years. And with that revenue, they can use it for however they wish. But she specifically said during the campaign, it was for her programs, which she wanted them for. $2.75 trillion based upon a 2% tax for people whose net worth is over $50 million, an additional 1% for people whose net worth is over $1 billion. Incredible. Incredible. It's basically step one of a two-step process. You introduce this bill to get the money for programs like the SSI, and then you introduce the bill, unless you do it by executive order, which the viewers like and I like. The president can do the executive order to fix the to fix the system. He can do SSI for $200 a month by executive order. He can change COLA to CPIE. It almost is not even an executive order. It's a presidential instruction. Remember when President Trump instructed FEMA to send out money for unemployment? There was no executive order instructing FEMA to do it. There was just an internal memo. He had established an executive order to create LWA, but it didn't say anything about FEMA. Remember, when we're talking about SSI and SSDI, we're not taking money out of Treasury for it. We're just telling them to do things a little bit differently. And different is what Jerome Powell did today as well. Boy, today was a volatile day. If you did not watch the recording before this, go watch it, because that one, Street and Stimulus, explained the volatility of Wall Street. Treasury yields went through the roof. Well, I think that's a little dramatic. Went up high as Jerome Powell spoke about inflation and pricing, and Wall Street thought the number wasn't the comments weren't particularly clear, and so Treasury yields went up. Stock market crashed down 760, down 760 points. It rallied back and ended down 230. NASDAQ ended down about 300, I believe it was. Tech generally was about down 2% a share. Tesla is now facing its worst year ever. It's lost all its gains of the year. It's now down $200. Could be heading to $400 Tesla, which would be its November levels. Oh my goodness. God bless you if you own it, and God bless you if you're making videos about it. But Your $1,400 third stimulus check is becoming law. And what else are you going to get into that stimulus package? In addition to the children, what are you getting? And how soon are you getting the money? What else is in this third stimulus package? And how soon would you see the money in your bank account? And how soon would fourth stimulus start? That's coming up right in about 60 seconds after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Late Daily for the excitement of the new LA Late live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA Late at 9 a.m. Home LA Late returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA Late at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LA Late.
If you've not hit that subscribe button, now is the time to hit it. This channel's on fire. Viewers are adoring the new format. I'm loving it. It's a day that shows why this format works. We're live 6 hours a day. And between noontime, a show that was 30 minutes in length, I went off camera and the stock market crashed 700 points. Between that show, I then went back on live, recorded, went live with you, Dell, told you what was happening, told you the Treasury, Jerome Powell's comments. Then after that video, went back live with another show 10 seconds later. Stock market rebounded 400 points. Meantime, we were tracking what was happening with Ron Johnson on the Senate floor. We were tracking what Chuck Schumer was doing. There's literally news every 10 seconds. This is not a place or time for one video a day to sort of sit back and just sort of get a rehash. No, the news cycle is so quickly changing in this economy where things are so volatile that you need to stay with me throughout the day. So hit that subscribe button. We had our fastest subscriber growth the last 3 days. Tell your friends, take this video, tag it on social media. If you did not see what happened early in this video, your $14 third stimulus check is becoming law this weekend. That's the great news. As early as this weekend, it could be signed into law by the President of the United States because the Senate's voting on it today. We'll continue voting on it tomorrow. And that bill could be signed into law by as early as this weekend. It goes back to the House, of course, for a few hours to get approved and then off to the President. That's that item. The next item, well, of course, was Wall Street's shocking twist, which I detailed in the video before this. Then it's off to the fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus is hitting all gears. It's going into overdrive, with Democrats saying we want multiple reoccurring stimulus checks if you want to vote for us in favor of it. And guess what? They can hold the president up for it because he needs 50 votes. He needs to do it by reconciliation. And they're basically saying, stop coming to us with these small deals. We're asking for a lot of money in this next stimulus package. And this is after the Federal Reserve saw not particularly good labor numbers today, may not see good labor numbers tomorrow. And people are just unemployed. They're unemployed and they need jobs. And if they don't have jobs, they need stimulus. What are they saying about SSI, says Penny Cole? So This is the shocking development. Elizabeth Warren, during the campaign trail for president, said, I will fund SSI and SSDI $200 a month for 12 months plus a 20% increase and a lifetime and a new benchmark of COLA by a wealth tax. Her wealth tax was delineated and explained while on the campaign trail for president. And on Monday, wow, she did it. She did it. She gave us the big update we've been waiting for. She introduced the bill that creates a wealth tax, $2.75 trillion based upon a 2% tax on people whose net worth is over 50 million and 1% tax for people whose net worth is over 1 billion. That would pay for everything that she so promised. On the campaign trail, she was asked, how would you pay for $24 of SSI and SSDI? She said this way, a wealth tax. She also said her other programs would be paid for with the wealth tax bill. And ultimately, if you're spending this money in an agency that doesn't particularly have $2,400 a month, $2,400 over 12 months sitting around, you have to get it from somewhere. And where is she getting it from? A wealth tax. And this is what she said 2 days ago. A wealth tax is popular among viewers on both sides for good reason, because they understand the system's rigged to benefit the wealthy and large corporations. As Congress develops additional plans to help our economy, the wealth tax should be at the top of the list to pay for the plans because the huge amount of revenue it would generate. She is confident that lawmakers will catch up to the overwhelming majority of Americans who are demanding more fairness, more change, and who believe it's time for a wealth tax, said Warren. And then yesterday, she had more to say as well. She said people understand what this is for. It says if you've got a fortune over 40 million, you pay on it. And if the fortune's below 50 million, you don't. Good for you either way. I think most people would rather be rich and pay 2 cents. It's not very fancy. It's just really a tax on fortunes over 50 million. There's Jimmy in the room, and there is Deal. And there's Colleen, there's Tina Kramer, and there's Diane and Linda, Cole and Sonia and Mar Brock, and Paula Bratt. And there's Lisbo Carrero. And there's Ashley Elizabeth, Teresa Brown, and Green Monster. Green Monster. How do we apply for the $5,000 EIDL grant? Not live yet. That will be Stimulus Stampede Day. That's what I'm calling Stimulus Stampede Day. And there's John Benari. How are you, John? Michael Greger. And there is Jenny as well. How is everyone? There's Brenda Brogger and Zena and Sonia and Charlotte and Philip and Paula and beautiful 1974. Patricia and Tamara and Sandy. How are you? It's a big day. So much news. Wow. If you're just joining me, your $1,400 third stimulus check bill will be passing this weekend. What else is in there? Let's go over it right now. There's money for rent, low income, middle class, homeless people getting into rent. If you're behind on rent, there's money for utilities if you're behind on utilities. And then there is money for mortgages, privately held mortgages as well. Remember, the eviction moratorium and the mortgage forbearance executive orders are set to expire relatively soon. There's an extension of FPUC, $400 a month from July to, from January to from March to August. There's an extension of PUC, FPUC, and UI from March to August. And then there is more. There's a $1,400 paid sick leave. There's $1,700 for college student on top of their $1,400 stimulus check. And there is a $1,500 hazard pay if you worked in the pandemic and made less than $25,000. All great news. Finally, there's a lot of business stuff. There's a business grant if you have an existing business, $5,000. Less than 10 employees, a $50,000 reduction of your income. There is a $5 million per location restaurant grant. There's another round of PPP, and then there's more. So much exciting news. Now, understanding, once this is signed into law by the President of the United States, it should take about 3 days for the first $1,400 stimulus checks to go out. The children's checks, you know, start in July at $3,600. The EIDL, thank you, Raymond, for coming to Purple Hawk. The EIDL actually has provision where the EIDL has to pay within 14 days. But everything else after the stimulus check is not quick. It's a little slow. So what should you do? You know what the answer is. You know what the answer is. What you should do is stay with me, because coming up right after this is Purple, where I show you how I don't want you to be tracking the $1,400 stimulus check or even the other items in the third stimulus package. I want you cashing checks. $5, $10, $15, $20,000 money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now. It's Purple. I'm really excited for you. If you haven't watched Purple, you need to watch it, because I got big updates today, and it's coming up right after this as Afternoons LA continues with Purple.